Okay, I've been meaning to update you guys. My Bridge to Basic series was an absolute fail. I've been a little just scatterbrained and so many things have been going on. My military process actually moved pretty quickly. It only took 3.5, 4 months. So yeah, today is day 7. 7 days before I ship to basic training. It is July 22nd, 2025. And I would say that up until this point, I have been very anxious and second guessing and nervous and feeling very unprepared. I have spent a lot of this time trying to weight train and train till failure so that I don't lose more muscle than I need to during basic training with all of the cardio. And I have been working on my run because I will say the running is like the only part that I was very nervous about. But now, since I've been working on my push-ups, I'm a little nervous about that too. I know that I will improve by week 6 when I take my final PT exam, but I am, I'm kind of an overachiever. I'm a little bit of a competitor. I like to max out every category that I possibly can. And I won't say I'm maxing out the run for this, but I will say I'll do my best to max out my crunches and my sit-ups and my push-ups by week 6 with the help of basic training in general. But yeah, up until this point, I've been very nervous and second guessing, but for some reason, I feel so excited. I actually went to the Milwaukee Air and Water Show on Sunday, and I saw my, the guard recruiter that I actually went through MEPS with, and we were just so excited to see each other, and she was so encouraging. I told her that I did have some reservations and I wanted to know what AFSCs were available at the other base with my ASVAB scores. And she was like, well, the job that you got is not available there, and the job that you got is amazing. So I would stick with that, and I believe her. I didn't sign my contract for a bonus because I wanted to be able to get a job that I would enjoy, that I would have a good experience with, and that aligned with the things that I'm interested in, and also my purpose further into my contract and or after my contract if I decide not to make the Air Force a career. And so I am very excited. It made me feel so much better to talk to her. Not that my active duty recruiter wasn't great, because he really is great, but she just made me feel so at ease. And so if you do find a recruiter and they make you feel, at ease, stick with them, obviously, unless you decide to switch components. But I would suggest staying in touch if they're okay with that. And if you don't find a recruiter that is reaching back out to you, find a recruiter that do not let those kind of situations and like dead ends make you not continue striving to join, if that's actually something that you really want to do. Because I've heard so many people, and I mean like a handful of people, say that they reach out to a recruiter and then they never heard from that recruiter, and that's why they never joined. And I feel like if that's the case, then you never really wanted it, because I reached out to several recruiters until I found a recruiter that made me feel comfortable, which they do advise against, but I did it and I'm leaving. What else? Yeah, I think talking to her was like a gift for my nerves. It relit a fire of curiosity and excitement under me for this experience and this new chapter in my life. And so I'm just excited. I'm so excited. Like I said, not exactly quote unquote prepared, but you know, one of the comments that I keep seeing on almost any video that I see of people that are anxious or, you know, a little worried about, you know, their PT or whatever, are comments from people who are already in the military or who are veterans, and they're like, don't even worry, they will get you ready. Like, they will prepare you. And so I'm ready, you know. There are some things that I compromised to be in the military, and I can talk about that in a future video. It's just like very short and simple, but you know, I am a believer, a Christ believer, and I do believe that when God says no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and you know, to not live in fear, that those are commands and those are promises, and that's why I am proceeding with my military process and my journey and my contract. But yeah, today is day 7, and I know I said I would update you guys throughout this situation, this whole process, this journey, but everything was so quick, and I feel like my feelings were the same practically every single day. I know a lot of people don't talk about the nerves and the second guessing that they go through, but I have that. But because that is something that I have often, I didn't really think anything of it, except that I was second guessing myself like I tend to do all the time. But yeah, my process was extremely quick. Went to MEPS in May. I talked to my recruiter in April. I went to MEPS in May. I swore in June, and 2 weeks later I got a call from my recruiter that my number 1 pick was available for me to take, and that if I didn't take it, which he was not pressuring me to, but this job is so popular. He said, like, if you don't take this job, you never know when it's going to come back around. So I was like, oh, I kind of thought like I would have like 15 weeks to prepare. Now I only have 4 weeks. So I just took it right away, and I put everything into God's hands. Whatever happens, happens. I will let the chips fall where they may. So I'm going to stop rambling. It's day 7 days before my ship date to basic training, July 22nd. And I'm very excited and looking forward to what my update video is going to be like after basic training. But I'll update you guys on how I feel tomorrow as well. It's a rest day because I should probably take it a little bit easier so I don't injure myself before basic training. That would be terrible. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow in day 6. Bye.